Hello, greetings. I have a very complicated case. Uh, I'm Zahra Jawad Sajwani on YouTube and Zahra Lela Jawad on Facebook. So, 2 months ago, or around, 2 months ago, this man by the name of Tariq Masood came on one of my Facebook pages I've made for my ex-principal, Mrs. Munira Gulsar. And the case has been very complicated. They're telling me that he's Manzoor, and even though he's perhaps cooperating, helping the authorities or what, or he came as to make me realize that there are some bad men outside, rapists and child molesters. I just don't know, but you know, this covert narcissist type. It's very difficult. So I'm not well, and he wouldn't take my request that I'm not well, my explanation, my request not to come on my page, and that he's not welcome. Then later on, as he was coming still, I wanted to see if these, because I've had these rapists and I've known in Karachi, child molesters mostly. So I thought maybe he will have some self-respect until, he started to voice message me. And I realized even his voice may sound, they reminded me this force is with me. So some things that this force has come true, but sometimes not 100%, like when they told me my brother has died. But he's alive in the hospital. I found out, my brother did not tell me initially. This force told me when I was in the kitchen about my brother, and then I messaged him, and he was hiding it from me, and later on he did tell me that he was about to die. So there's someone after us, my family, wanting to keep us oppressed, miserable, spoiling our health, mental, physical, however they could get me. So I went out, really I cannot take rapists and a rape case or some very bad case. Maybe they seduced a woman and raped her. I was told when I was a child, and they were teenagers. Manzoor and Safdar, Kashmiri's younger brother. So, very dirty, very filthy, very vulgar people. So I thought, then I found out that they're telling me he's Manzoor, he's that guy who used to work for us many years back. In 1970, somewhere, 78, 77, when we came back from London in childhood with my family, I came back to Karachi, and at that time somewhere, Safdar's younger brother was still, Safdar was an old worker of my father's family in his house in Karachi. And so his younger brother stayed on, and I don't know how this guy Manzoor came and what he was doing there in my house. And then they left after, telling me this very vulgar thing about a woman they raped, older to them or something, in a very vulgar way, they told me. Now this guy is impersonated as Tariq Masood. And in Karachi, in Pakistan, I've known fake degrees and lies told, and in a way that even if they can pretend that they're helping the authorities, they came there at my ex St. Josephine's page to make me, protect me from, or make me realize that there are these people, rapists, and very vulgar, very sordid kind of people. Yeah, very sordid people in Pakistan, like the Pakistani Muslim gang grooming case you can see on YouTube. No one can reach them, not even the British authorities. And at first they're very kind and like that, and then, they're very, very vulgar. And they start grooming these girls, young women or girls, into, I think, sex trafficking. So, and hypnosis and goes on. So please be careful. I've realized this, that you may not realize it at that time. Through a therapist, a clinical psychologist, pioneer, another liar, Dr. Farooq Z. Ahmed in Karachi, Pakistan. You can check her Google search. So she lied about her middle name. She told me she was a Sunni Sayyid, a Zaidi. But then you can Google search and find out it's Zahur. Farooq, Dr. Farooq Zahur Ahmed Trust has come. So her real name has come. For so many years she lied to us. And she can hypnotize without us knowing it. So this way they can hypnotize our children and to make them do things before we even realize what they're doing to us, and afterwards and again, and until something, God saves us or something. Sometimes it feels that there's no God. Sometimes it feels that there is someone. Sometimes it feels very dark. So talking with this Tariq Masood, I just felt that it was not. It was very, very dark, and he would, not. He put me in that condition where I would say very bad things, and I couldn't take it. But my condition, I think, I don't know, international law, or they would consider my case and let me, excuse me, because he was coming. He knows my mental health condition. He pretends like he doesn't know, since why was he coming on my ex St. Josephine's page since April? Then if he was coming to make me realize or protect me or something like this, then he should know that, he should understand that my health is bad and how bad it is, and that I don't want to abuse, but I can't take it. I will abuse. Through me, some spirit is abusing, and it comes in a forceful way, so I cannot help it. And then when I realized that they asked me the force with me, an invisible force, I said that this is Mansoor. I couldn't take it, and that against my principle also something. I couldn't take it. But these Pakistanis, they can really disguise themselves as very in good manners and helpful and all this. And later on, they show their true colors. And he said some things against Shias, which, like if he said, I will not, in the end I said, why don't you meet me? And he said, I don't want to meet a kafir Shia. I don't meet kafir Shias and all. So that is good for me. I mean, it shows that these people hate Shias. and I will talk about that in another video later on. So, and yes, like, he was like, why do you do this saying nonsense against Islam? And so he pretended to come there like that, or maybe that would make me realize that there are people who want to kill us, whoever, talks against Islam or exposes the truth about Islam. So I'm not talking against Islam to offend the Muslims, but one person researching, and in my findings, I found that the Quran verses reveal something, and I don't want to take Prophet Muhammad as my prophet. So I share that on Facebook. Right now, not live because recently I said something terrible things against Tariq Masood, his mother-in-law. So I've been restricted on Facebook and I cannot go live. So another thing is the hypnosis. Did I say this? Did I mention the hypnosis? They hypnotize and all this. Sometimes I feel this such a complicated case, and that I will not be able to explain myself. So I'm doing it in piecemeals and in whatever condition I am to explain myself. And I cannot take rapists, and they have to be taught a lesson. So I did not block this guy, Tariq Masood, on Facebook because I wanted to know who has sent him. What is his, when will he stop? Will he stop? When will he get his, get some self-respect and stop coming there and respect my request of not wanting to have a Pakistani strange man coming there. But he was not stopping. And of course there are others who have not come to my attention. So he made me realize that these Pakistani men are coming. And with due respect to the ones who are decent, and we want to help Pakistan develop in a good, prosperous, peaceful way, and get rid of these rapists and child molesters and street, these men on the street, Bori Bazaar, and so they're touching and rape. Recently, before coming to Dubai, like many years back now, but around, I don't know how many years it has been, but more than 7 years, that there are rapists on Tariq Road and all. So, and the UK Pakistani Muslim men sex grooming girls and for sex trafficking. You can watch the videos on YouTube on which I will be uploading this video of mine, audio. So, and you can also research whatever I say. You can check these things out if you are, wanting to help or learn from this case of mine. Sorry, I don't talk very properly, and because of my condition now, it's very fragile. It was more yesterday than today. I was in headaches and all that depressive, dark feeling. Very, very dark, sick feeling. So, well, I feel that rapists and all, uh, I cannot stand, and I have to take, give them their own medicine, and also see how far they go with this. When I say something bad, uh, in anger and all, because they have hurt me, I haven't hurt them. So I wanted to see how far they go and the things they say about, this, of me just abusing them, their mothers, and very bad, vulgar abuse that I learned from Pakistan, and phrases and all. So I wanted to see, like, when will he get that shame or anything, but he didn't. And I've warned people that if you come on my Ex St. Josephine's page, you should behave yourself. So I don't like the stranger men there, especially the Pakistani men, Asian men, but well-behaved, decent men, I don't mind. Although I prefer women, and I'm alone, so I come alone on live stream on public. So so this person made me realize that I should not be showing my face, and maybe the principal has passed away, I don't know. Oh, I cannot live without. But later on they told me he's Manzoor, Tariq Masood, impersonated, alias, or maybe Manzoor was not his real name when he came to work for us in 1970 somewhere, 1977, after mid 1977 somewhere. So after we came back from London, I was there before that. After we came to Karachi, Pakistan, I was in London with my family. So it was really good to be there. And I had to take some severe action, and I just had, against, when they told me he's Manzoor, this force with me. And to remember, I can hardly remember, but slightly, vaguely, his eyes are very lecherous, and I don't know, like, God forgive me, but now I'm in this state. I couldn't face my feelings, like I'm, in a breakdown of some kind, perpetual nervous breakdown. So the spirit's attacking me, that's how I feel, and that's what I'm telling you here. And if you'd like to help, thank you, or listen or learn. And about the Shias that I learned, fatwas against them, please look at the book. Like Tariq Masood himself was saying, Kafir Shia, I don't want to meet you. So I said, then why are you talking to me all this time? And I realized that if you're saying Shia Kafir, then there was a person we knew, orator, a religious scholar, Shia, Indo-Pak religious scholar, Allama Rashid Tarabi. I think Indo-Pak time, or yeah. So he was really good. He was a genius. So he used to say, if you want to know Imamat, read the ayats of Hazrat Ibrahim in the Quran. And we are told in Surah Saf that Hazrat Ibrahim was a Shia of him. Him, because of the previous verses it mentions Hazrat Nuh. So him means i.e. Hazrat Nuh. So if you say Shia Kafir, it's Shia Kafir. And if you listen to your religious scholars and not coming from the main Prophet Muhammad's mouth or the Quran's verses, then you will be hurting, killing the Shias and hurting yourselves in the end. Because if you say Shia Kafir, the first Shia was, we are told in the Quran, the first Shia was Hazrat Ibrahim. And he was a Shia of Nuh. In Surah Saf, I can't remember exactly the number of the ayat. So if you really care for the truth and look into this matter, this is about Shias. So I told Tariq Masood I'm with the Shias. First I said I'm a Shia, but I have been a Shia and I'm with the Shias because we're with the oppressed, the just, the truthful, the righteous, right? That's what we were told in the Quran verses, to be with the martyrs, great companionship. There's a verse in the Quran I can't remember. You can Google search and find out. Sorry, can't remember in which surah and number. So if you, all of you, we have free will. But if you really want justice and to know who is on the right path and all, then you can check and do your research. Otherwise, you have the free will to call Shias kafir, call them apostates, like your religious leaders have ordered you to do, commanded you to do, and kill the apostates, right? Because eventually you should kill that's the punishment in Islam for apostates. We are called by the Shias, are called apostates by their religious Sunni, Muslim, non-Shia Muslim religious leaders. Some of them have commanded, ordered for them to take us like this so they would kill us. Although we don't, we are not commanded by our religious scholars, Shia religious scholars, to kill them. Take the Sunni Muslims as apostates, or even worse than Jews, Christians, and polytheists, idolaters, as one of their religious scholars has said, and another has said apostate. So you can do, if you like to know if I'm speaking the truth, and this is very dangerous for us when I was a Shia, and for my Shias, I don't know how we've survived this America. So if they only, take the Quran and Surah Muhammad's ayat, they would kill us, smiting our necks, beheading us, and rape. This is what Tariq Masood said, or was it Manzoor? So for the sake of just being brief and quick, Tariq Masood told me in a private message on Facebook Messenger, that about me, a very chilling thing, that you're being daily raped because you are a Shia. That's what he meant. I'm being psychically attacked, and there's a lot of negativity and confusion. And he's been listening to my live stream videos, and that's what he used against me. He says that he's only answering me back because I said certain things to him, but I don't think that is a great man. And he said that you should leave this nonsense of this academic way I am. And yes, it will get kind of emotional for me, but I don't mean to offend any Sunni Muslim or Muslims. But I have to do this, even if one person or two or three ex-Muslims, when I find something that I don't like about the Prophet in the Quran, in the contradictory verses, and I've gathered information, there's no way I can take him as my Prophet who allows all this, what I've from Surah Nur gathered in this verse, and what he does in Surah Azab, the verses. I've seen what happened to Zainab bin Josh and Zaid. So I'm finding that everything was great about my Shia religion until when they missed these things. We used to think the Prophet can never make a mistake, can never make a mistake. But it says in Surah Azab that he made a mistake unknowingly, although, and all this. So also the Sunni Muslims who have given fatwas against Shias, that their reasoning is, unfounded and flimsy. So if you want to call Shia kafir by listening to your religious leaders and not doing research on your own, I mean, you will. See, we don't say that you will offend us Shias, but you've killed the Shias. Some Muslims have killed the Shias in Pakistan and elsewhere. And we don't say Shia Sunni kafir because we say God will decide. Who are we to decide? Who knows when they could come and become a Shia, or just be your true Muslim, true to yourself, and let God decide later on. So if whatever, like your deeds, what you believe in, so God looks at your intentions. This is what I believed in. And so we don't call, Sunni Muslims apostates and kafirs. And then they say that we don't say bad to anyone when they do. When they actually have said Shia Muslim, the religious scholars also have commanded them to take Shias as apostates, worse than Christians, Jews, and idolaters. So what is the punishment for an apostate? Death, right? In Islam, according to Islam. So this is very, very dangerous. And please don't forget, when you say Shia Kafir, you're saying that the first Shia was Abraham, and this is mentioned in the Quran verse. So you're saying Abraham was a Kafir, Hazrat Abraham, and he was a Shia of Nuh. So, so please listen to, if you would like the truth, and if you want to be fair and do justice, take the Quran verses and give thought to them. Do your proper research. Keep your mind open. Maybe your religious, of course I know your religious scholars are wrong against the Shias. And so you are following those. Maybe you will trample upon those believers unknowingly and hurt yourselves. Okay, this is from loosely taken verse from the Quran. So, okay, thank you very much. I'm just leaving now abruptly, sorry. And I will come back later to explain more in detail when I get well enough to talk well and properly. Thank you very much. God bless you all and best wishes.